Hello friends, and great to see you. Welcome to today's project of making madeleines. We will be making a brown butter and coffee version, a very simple and easy cake to make. They are light, fluffy, moist, and above all, addictive. There will be some rules to follow, but I will let you know along the way. Just sit back, relax, and let me do the work. The first thing that we will need to do is to make the brown butter, a very simple process. This is also known as beurre noisette. In French, beurre translates to butter and noisette translates to hazelnut. However, there is no hazelnut in this recipe. The reason being is that the butter will develop a deep nutty flavor similar to hazelnuts at the end, and the color will resemble hazelnuts, a nice rich brown. Whether you are making a small amount or a large amount, the principle is the same. Put your choice of butter into a pot, in this case 250 grams or 1 block. I have chosen salted butter for more flavor. The key is to watch it and constantly keep it moving. Keeping it moving ensures that it will brown evenly. It will look like it's taking its time, but once it starts to turn, it can happen rather rapidly. You don't want any kids or pets near you when doing this process, as it can be very hot very fast. Once the content of the pot looks like a nice rich brown in color and the bubbles have slowed down, take it off from the heat. I'm just going to show you the after weight here. We started with 250 grams and now we have 200 grams of browned butter. But this is in liquid form. Pour it into a bowl, make sure it is metal or glass, never plastic. Be careful not to touch the base of the bowl, as that will be very hot. In the meantime, make yourself an ice bath. In another large bowl, just ice and water. Put the bowl with the browned butter on top of it and start whisking. We want to cool it down and whip air back into it. It will only take a couple of minutes with juggling back and forth. Don't leave the bowl with the brown butter in the ice bath for too long. Otherwise the bottom part can get very hard. If you need to add more ice, go for it. I'll support that decision. Very soon, the butter will whip and it will look creamy and fluffy. Once it has been whipped up, test to see if it can hold itself when tilting the bowl, like what I have done. If it can hold itself, then it is ready. This right here on some toast is just magical, but we are not here for that. Leave that to one side for now. In the meantime, measure in a separate bowl some homemade coffee paste. If you would like to make your own, there is a link on the top right corner. This one is the coffee paste I made with glucose. This was at room temperature. We would need 55 grams of this. Pour the coffee paste into the whipped brown butter. Whisk it together to make sure it has combined. Just look at that. It's mighty creamy. Leave that to one side for now, as that part is ready. Next, in a mixing bowl, pour in 162 grams of caster sugar, then 180 grams of whole eggs or 3 very large eggs. This needs to be whisked, so use the whisk attachment. Bring it over to the mixer and put it on medium speed. Whisk it until it doubles in size and goes light in color, almost white, something like that. In the meantime, measure out 250 grams of plain flour, then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Give that a good sieving. Take that over to the mixing eggs and sugar mixture, put the mixer on low speed, and pour the dry ingredients in stages using a spoon. Mix well until everything is combined and then stop. Next, measure out 75 milliliters of whole milk and add 30 grams of honey to that. Honey helps with the flavor and texture. Give that a good mixing. Pour the milk and honey mixture and mix for just a couple of seconds to combine everything. It will look like a wet batter. Now bring that over and we're going to combine everything together. You can use your whisk to mix, but don't overmix it. Just spend 1 minute maximum on this. Just give it a few rounds to incorporate everything and that is perfect. Place it in a bowl. We will need to chill the batter down and rest the mixture overnight. The next day, take the mixture out of the fridge. It will be firm, but still manageable. Loosen the mixture a little by mixing it around. Place the mixture in a piping bag. The mixture looks rough. With the warmth from your hands and you slightly massaging the bag, the mixture will come out smooth. Take a baking tray. I am inverting my baking tray because I want the heat to circulate the baking mold. This is a silicone Madeleine mold. I don't have a metal one. This recipe works also with a metal one, so do not worry. I have some oil spray just to help in the process, but you can always use oil and a brush. Just a light greasing. I prefer a silicone one, as then the cakes are easier to pop out. However, with a silicone mold, I have to heat up my oven at a higher temperature to make sure that the madeleines pop in the center or give it that belly. Otherwise, they would be flat, still delicious, but flat. A metal baking mold would work better at a lower temperature because metal is a better heat conductor than silicone. I am also going to pipe the mixture in an interval formation to bake it better for better airflow. If this was a metal baking tray, you wouldn't really need to do this. I am also leaving enough space for them to expand and for them not to flow out. A cold batter would help you in getting that hump or belly. As the heat from the oven hits the sides first, it will push the mixture upwards and thus creating that hump. I baked mine at 200 degrees Celsius, fan on or in circulation mode for 10 minutes. Depending on your oven and what type of baking mold or tray you are going to use, you might have to play around and adjust to what works best for your situation. Just look at those little bellies. This is what we're after. Let them rest on the counter for a good 10 to 15 minutes before trying to take them out to enjoy. This is why I like silicone. I can just pop them out from behind and they come out so easily, just like that. Such a nice color on the edge, and it is cooked all the way through. All you need to do is enjoy this with a cup of coffee or some tea. I'm going to let my wife, Jess, let you know how they are. So we have a coffee Madeleine that just came out of the oven a few minutes ago. It's still a little bit warm. I am such a fan of the nipple. It's not a Madeleine if there aren't any nipples. A lot of passionate French pastry chefs will tell you a Madeleine is not a Madeleine if there isn't the nipple or the camel hump.
Shall we tell them about the first batch and the fact that you came through to me and you were horrified and I didn't realise what you were making at this point and you went, Jess, I'm missing the nipples.
Yes.
I had no idea what he was referring to.
And here you go. Have a try.
Very excited.
Yeah. While she's chewing on that, more importantly, how's the nipple on that?
I really like the texture. This is lovely. It's very light and fluffy, but also quite moist. And coming out of the oven, oh, really nice while it's just still warm. You can definitely taste the browned butter in there. Like, that was so clear. Like, the first bite I was like, wow, yeah, definitely brown butter, which is lovely. And the coffee isn't overpowering because I like coffee, but I'm more of a latte girl than an espresso. And this is like a latte or cappuccino in a sponge. It's really nice.
Yeah. Let's be honest here. How many have you had before I switched on the camera to record this?
Are you asking today or over the last few days while you've been making these?
All right. As a total.
Maybe 6, maybe more.
6.
You left the house.
Oh.
You left me alone with them. They're good.
They're very good. And there you have it. Coffee Madeleines made with some homemade coffee paste. Well, there you have it for today. Thank you for joining us on our Madeleine adventure. If you've enjoyed what you've watched, hit that like button, leave a comment, and until next time, it was great seeing you. Bye for now.